Hi, this is Tyrone, and welcome to another edition of The Agent. This week's episode is titled A Breaking Point in Fashion. In 2010, top fashion designer Alexander McQueen committed suicide. The amazing creative Isabella Blow did the same. And prior to that, a beautiful Russian model at the height of her career jumped out of her apartment window in New York, killing herself. Then there was designer Kate Spade, who took hers. Last year, the former Miss USA, she too jumped out of her apartment window, killing herself. Along with a supermodel last year who took her life also. And so the list goes on. These are just some of the names of those that are well known in the industry that made the headlines. But there are countless others who simply did the same without anyone batting an eyelid or making note of it in the newspapers. We ask ourselves, why? There's so many hurting people out there without anyone to talk to or too afraid to share what's going on in their heart and in their life. The facade of having everyone believe the look they present outside, yet inwardly they are broken. A somber reminder that we are our brother's keeper. We are here to help lift each other up and not tear each other down. For it is sad to see so many beautiful souls go that way. There's a breaking point in fashion and life where many strive to achieve it. That elusive dream to be recognized for their work and creativity. But once they find it, whatever it is, they then have to fight to keep it and or maintain it at whatever cost, all just to stay relevant, making sure they're not discarded or forgotten. The toll of achieving it has caused so many to crash and burn. Once I was in Paris with a young model I was representing when I saw that she was cutting up herself. Self-mutilation. She did not believe she was beautiful at all. There was no need for me to have her working anymore. Her well-being was far more important than her being on that catwalk. So I cancelled all her bookings. Chanel, Lagerfeld, Yves Saint Laurent, you name it, and sent her home to get help. It was more important that she sought counseling before she could come back to the business. But what happens when everyone wants more from you and expects more of you? How do you cope when everyone is pulling at your coattail, baiting and waiting for your next it? What do? Fashion, life itself, will break you to the core if you don't stop and take a break. Elijah, one of the greatest prophets of God, found himself in a similar situation, wanting to give up. He ran from Jezebel, who made threats to kill him. Sounds like a crazy model agency boss, and I've known a few. Their threats would threaten or frighten the devil out of their Prada. You see, Elijah had reached his breaking point, so he ran and hid in a cave. How many times have we hid in the cave of our mind? But God, the great counselor and comforter, called him out. Elijah, what are you doing here? Be careful when God calls you out. God was about to play the role of counselor to get Elijah to open up and share what was going on. As if God doesn't already know what's going on in each and every one of our lives. But as anyone who has had to meet with a counselor know, their first line of questions are, why are you here and how can I help? They're there to listen, to help you, to open up. They already know the answer is in you. You see, God allowed Elijah to rest, then he gave him an assistant and new directions to take in life. We all need someone to talk to, a counselor, a friend, a comforter. Don't hold things in alone. Talk to someone. God's ears is always open to listen if we just call on him. He'll answer. Christ showed us by example what to do when the world seems to want more from us. He simply stopped everything and went to a mountain to be alone, to pray and to rest. When was the last time you found a place, a mountain, to be alone, to rest? If you don't, life will give you a break. 6 feet under. You see, even God took a break. On the seventh day, after designing and fashioning the world, he stopped and rested. And he gave us a commandment to do the same. If he can, why can't we? Don't let hate drive you to an early grave. That's unless you've seen a coffin or a cemetery that you're dying to be in. But remember, you can't take all that collection or work with you. And before they can put you in that Prada body bag, someone else will be sitting at your desk smiling. Welcome to Prada. How can I help you? God's got great plans for your life, so take your time and enjoy it. Until next time, may the peace of Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit counsel and comfort you to a place of peace and rest. Have a super restful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. God bless you. Bye-bye.